look stupid.
Too late.
Hard to do,
Too
right?
late.
Okay, listen, obviously, 2 weeks of work to get to play tonight. You know, we are not guaranteed that tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday that we get to keep playing, right? That's something we've discussed for the last 2 weeks. Which means, as we talked about with our goals, and Tony's not here, but Sammy and Lindsay should be able to remind everybody, our goal every day when we come to practice is to practice for what we want to achieve. What is it we want to achieve?
Stay.
So why would we play or practice for anything less, right? So when we show up to practice, we work hard. Last couple of days have been a little tougher at practice. I felt like, you know, yesterday we kind of took it easier on you, but you can still see some of you are really wore down. We don't have the 18 girls at practice we're supposed to have at practice. We've been down to 11 or 12 every night. Most of you are doing the same drills 2 or 3 times when normally you'd only have to go 1 or 2 times. You can tell it's wearing down a little bit. So tonight, though, you should find a little bit of energy, a little bit more excitement because you're not guarding each other anymore. You know, Sammy's not guarding Maddie or JC or Lindsay's going up against somebody besides Sarah. You know, so it's nice that you guys get to go up against somebody else. It should get the competitive juices flowing a little bit. It should get us moving a little bit better. Hopefully it sharpens our focus up a little bit as well, and it gives us that game situation. I realize it doesn't matter tonight, win or lose, but for some of you it does matter for, let me show you what I can do in a game and earn some more playing time, or maybe you surprise yourself and do some things you haven't done at practice because suddenly it's real, okay? Everything we do tonight starts with our warm-up. You come out, we hit the floor tonight, just like we do at home. Once we hit that floor, when I say go, we hit the floor hard. We're not walking around. Everybody kind of in the back of your head, you know where you're going. Our basketballs are what we're going to use to warm up. They did get us basketballs tonight, but we're going to use ours because we already got them here tonight. When you're done warming up or you don't need them, put them behind our bench, okay? Then when you leave tonight, you take them with you, all right? Don't forget them. I can't afford it anymore. Defensively, we're going to start in our 2 press. So I'm going to start Morgan, Sammy, Tate, Sarah, Lindsay. You and Sammy are going to play up. You're going to play the middle. Sarah's going to play the middle. Lindsay, you're going to play back. Got it? Defensively, we're going to be in our 2-3 zone. And when we're in 2-3 zone, let's have you and Sammy at the top. Let's have you at the bottom on the outside. You've been doing that in practice? So you're on the outside, down at the bottom. Sarah on the outside. We'll put Lindsay in the middle to start. We might flip you two at some point, but right now that's what we're going to start with. We may not stay in that very long. Okay, so be ready for a switch. What's 0 call? What's that mean? Okay, what's a 1 press?
Butters on the ball.
Butters on the ball. You're near half court. Our 2 wings are on the outside, and we're going to put you back if that happens. Okay, and everybody's overplaying. We're trapping everything right away. Offensively, we're going to go with our Illinois first, and I want you in, okay, following the ball, high post, and dropping down to the low post to post up. Make sure we let the cutter go through. If they're in a zone, don't just throw the cutter, because if you throw to the cutter and they're in zone, they're going to have a triple team in the bottom. The cutter's for motion, okay? So let's do this too tonight. Illinois, we're going to go switch. So Sammy, when you throw the ball away, switch on the backside right away. In order to do that, we have to move quick, because if the cutter goes through while you're switching, you have to then fill. So you might end up back where you started. So make sure that we go quick, okay? It's just going to help us get a little more movement. They played man-to-man last year, but they have a different coach. Typically, when you get a new coach, you end up in 2-3 zone. So we'll see what happens. That's been our experience over the last couple of years. I do want to show you one thing real quick. We got Lindsay here in the high post. Let's say the ball's over here. Okay? Lindsay's here. Let's say the ball goes in here. Whoever this backside wing is, don't go to sleep, because you're supposed to be crashing to the hoop if you're on the backside. If the ball goes to the high post, the backside wing must crash to the hoop, because this is where we get a ton of layups. Lindsay's going to turn face up. If she's got a shot, she'll take it. If she's got a drive, she's going to take it. But if you're down there and you're wide open, she's going to hit you in the high-low, and we're going to get a layup. Okay? If we go Oklahoma, something we struggled with last year, and we've struggled at practice this year, and it's okay. We'll get better at it. When you get in Oklahoma, we have that high-low right here. A lot of times we're catching the ball right here, and we're looking, but we're just missing it a little late. hit this low right here. We have that high low. It's been at practice. It's been there. Probably 3 out of 4 times. Those are easy layups. Okay, those are easy points. Protect the basketball, right? That's the most important thing. Remember this. Every time you get a turnover, you don't get a shot. I'd rather have a bad shot, unfortunately, than a turnover, because at least you have a chance of getting a point. Over the years of coaching, I've talked about this a lot. Every turnover is essentially a point. Your chance to take a point, put a point on the board, or they're getting a point at the other end. Because you figure somebody shooting 50%, they're going to get 1 point. So every turnover is a 1 point swing for each team. You want to end the game with 15 or less turnovers. That didn't just isn't a number I made up. That's a number over the years of coaching girls basketball as an assistant and head coach. 15 is the number. More than 15, you're getting into that range where it's hard to win. Less than 15, you're right where you need to be to win about every night. Scoreboard's the same way. You put 50 on the board, you win 80% of your girls' basketball games. Look back at last year. We won 80% of our basketball games. You know what we averaged? 50.0. It makes a difference. That is a big number when it comes to winning games, okay? So our goals that you see in the locker room at home that I put up recently, and we haven't got a chance to go over yet because we haven't been in the locker room together. Those are all things that Sammy and I and Lindsay have come up with over the last few weeks. We've put them on paper. This is what we want to do. We'll get to that when we get a practice one night next week. We'll go in there and go over them all together, okay? With all that said, everybody's on the bench is going to be ready to play tonight. Everybody. I can't guarantee you're all going to play 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, but I will tell you that I'm fairly certain that every girl in this locker room right now is going to touch the floor tonight. So you have to be ready to go. Most important thing of all the stuff that I just said, here's the most important thing. Have fun. Right? It doesn't matter, does it? This game, winning and losing, isn't what we need to worry about tonight. Figuring out what we're going to do next week. This is what we need to do right now. I need to see some film of us doing our stuff versus other things. So we can evaluate whether or not we're doing the right stuff and whether or not we need to make changes. These girls that have been here for a while will tell you, usually when we go to the Jamboree, we don't do very well. Last year was an exception. We absolutely put it on Mount Pleasant last year. We got lucky. Because usually we don't play that well. We get beat up pretty bad there. I think 2 years ago, Winfield beat us at the Jamboree like 25 points and a half. The next week we went to their place and beat them by almost 30. Because we make adjustments based off of what we see. So tonight, whatever you show us on film, we're going to know what we can and what we cannot do versus other teams and what adjustments we need to make. Everything looks good at practice, right? It always looks easy because we're scoring easy at practice. That won't be the case tonight. We'll have to work for it, okay? Anybody have any questions before we hit the floor? Wear your mask when we're warming up. And then all the way up until you hit the floor tonight to play the game. Let's go. Our third of our pillars. Family on 3.
Family on 3. 1,